Emmeline Pankhurst by Paula Andrea Montilla Corso 11-2. Pankhurst was a leading British women's rights activist who led the movement to win the right for women to vote. Emmeline Golding was born on the 14th of July 1858 in Manchester into a family with a tradition of radical politics. In 1879, she married Richard Pankhurst, a lawyer and supporter of the women's suffrage movement. He was the author of the Married Women's Property Acts of 1817 and 1882, which allowed women to keep earnings or property acquired before and after marriage. His death in 1898 was a great shock to Emmeline. In 1889, Pankhurst became an early supporter of the Women's Franchise League, which wanted to enfranchise all women, married and unmarried alike. At the time, some groups only sought the vote for single women and widows. Her husband encouraged Pankhurst in these endeavors until his death in 1898. In October of 1903, she helped found the more militant Women's Social and Political Union, WSPU, an organization that gained much notoriety for its activities and whose members were the first to be christened suffragists. Coping with the strained circumstances and grief consumed much of Pankhurst's attention for the next several years. However, she retained a passion for women's rights, and in 1903 she decided to create a new women-only group focused solely on voting rights, the Women's Social and Political Union. The WSPU. Its slogan was "Deeds, not words." Emmeline's daughters, Christabel and Sylvia, were both active in the cause. British politicians, press, and public were astonished by the demonstration, window smashing, arson, and hunger strikes of the suffragists. In 1913, WSPU member Emily Davidson was killed when she threw herself under the King's horse at the Derby as a protest at the government's continued failure to grant women the right to vote. Like many suffragists, Emmeline was arrested on numerous occasions over the next few years and went on hunger strike herself, resulting in violent force feeding. In 1913, in response to the wave of hunger strikes, the government passed what became known as the Cat and Mouse Act. Hunger striking prisoners were released until they grew strong again and then re-arrested. This period of militancy was ended abruptly on the outbreak of war in 1914, when Emmeline turned her energies to supporting the war effort. In 1918, the Representation of the People Act gave voting rights to women over 30. Emmeline died on 14th of June 1928, shortly after women were granted equal voting rights with men. Thanks for your contributions, Emmeline Pankhurst.